All right, I want to share a side hustle that I've been doing for several years now, and my goal is to hopefully help, somebody out there who is looking for some extra money, maybe just over the holiday season this time of year, or if you're looking to build, a little side hustle that can grow into something a little bit bigger, this might be something that will be a good fit for you. So basically, this is, you can call it whatever you want, but this is basically sharing content on social media. So I've had people tell me, isn't this just a freelance social media manager? And like I said, you can call it whatever you want. I think it's a little bit less than that. I kind of view a social media manager as somebody who does a lot more, or they're more involved with the social media content. But what I do specifically for a client is on Facebook, I post content every day that's designed to get engagement. So engaging content is stuff that is funny. It's, quotes. It's, just anything that just has an entertainment value, like anything that is going to get more attention from people. And the idea behind this, and this has worked for years and it continues to work today, by the way. But the idea behind this is, if you're just posting content that's all about the business and nothing else, then people tend to not pay attention to that. But if you're posting things that bring in some humor or interest in other ways, then people start paying attention to those posts or that content. And hopefully that brings everything up. It kind of helps lift everything and helps you to get more visibility on your social media accounts. Now, I've seen the opposite happen too, where a page that posts nothing but business content, like the corporate-y sort of post with generic photos and whatever, you post that kind of content constantly and everything just drops. Like the engagement just flat out goes away. So you have to have some balance here. And if you're trying to use organic traffic on social media, you have to get people willing to pay attention to your stuff. The other thing to keep in mind too is, even if you're sharing content that is, nothing to do with the business, it's not related at all to the business, even that type of content, you're still seeing that page. You're still seeing the name of the page. So, for example, if it's a restaurant, then when people later on down the road, a week or 2 weeks from now or a month from now, when they decide they want to go out to eat, maybe that restaurant pops up in your mind because you've seen the page over and over, and you're noticing the post that the page is putting out. So I'm going to show you an example. You don't just need to take my word for it, but this is one of the craziest things. So Wendy's, over the last year or so, maybe a little bit longer, they've been putting up just random posts. I mean, this one's a little more food related. It's kind of a funny, clever way to do that. But stuff like this, I don't even understand this. I haven't been following the page, but look at this. It got 4,000 likes, 600 comments, 184 shares, so they're sharing content that is engaging with people and bringing some humor and, more lightheartedness to the page. They're not just selling on the page. So here's the side hustle in essence, is you go to a business, you find a business on Facebook or on Instagram, whatever platform, you're wanting to help with, and go and find businesses that look like they're actually posting content, but they're not really getting a lot of results. And I would stick to businesses that have, at least a couple, 2,000-3,000 followers. If the follower count is too low, then it becomes a different kind of a challenge. You do need to have a little bit of a following on the page, but find a page that's got at least a few thousand followers, and that's trying to put content out on a regular basis. If they're not putting any content out, then they're probably not going to be really interested in this. But if you can see that they're making an effort, then reach out to them and just say, hey, can I post some content for the next, week, 2 weeks, a month, whatever you want to do to kind of try and sell yourself on this, and see if it helps to boost your engagement and get a little more visibility. And, you can explain that to them that if you have a balance of, a smaller amount of business. In fact, I use the 80-20 rule when it comes to social media, and you don't have to stick to those numbers exactly, but it's just kind of the concept. But 80% entertainment and 20% business related content. So kind of go with that approach, that if you're posting entertaining stuff, then you're going to get more visibility on everything. And I really do think you ought to overbalance or have the higher number be the entertaining content, because that's what is actually bringing in the, the better visibility. But, you're welcome to experiment that with a page, but go to pages and, reach out to them and just ask if you can do it for free for a few weeks or a month or whatever you're comfortable with to offer them, and see if it helps them. Now, I don't just do this manually. I don't just go to a page and every single day I'm hopping on and posting. I batch post, and I'm going to switch over to my other screen here. I use this website or this service called Postplanner. It's one of the cheaper ones that I found. In fact, let's look at their pricing just really quick here. So you can sign up with a free account. It only lets you schedule 15 posts a month. So the starter plan, if you pay yearly, it works out to $7 a month, or monthly it's $12 a month. So you decide if this is something that you want to use, and I will link to this down in the description of this video. It is an affiliate link, so if you do happen to sign up for this and pay for it, I'll get a little kickback for it. But it's a really good program. I've been using this for years, and it works fine. It's a good little program. And then the other thing that I do, so how I find content is I will go follow pages on Facebook, and I will save like everything that was funny to me, anything that I got a kick out of, or that was interesting or thought-provoking, or just anything that I think is worth resharing. And that's mostly what I'm doing to get content. The other thing is I will go to AI, and I will ask AI to give me lists, big long lists of questions of, just engaging stuff that I can ask people. And I don't necessarily use that word for word. I will use that as more of just inspiration, like to help me brainstorm other ideas. And I've come up with lots and lots of different questions over the years. And then I break things up. So I'll actually go into my screen here for this client that I'm doing this for. I break things up where I do like questions, and then I'll do an image, and then I'll do a couple days of questions and then another image. So you can kind of see I'm not posting the exact same stuff every single day. The other thing that I'll share with you that I like to do is if you go to create a post, you can you can type in your text here. So text here, and then you can have your little emojis as well, put a laughing face at something, whatever. But you can come in here and you can create in Canva. So you can connect this to your Canva account. And this is what I do with like quotes. Like when I find something that's like a quote, I'll go in and use this design feature here, and I'll just say, I don't know, funny quote. And I'm not going to use what they have, but it just kind of gives me some different layouts that maybe I could use for something. So, here's something for the holiday season you could throw on or whatever. But anyway, it's a little better than just like plain boring white. It gives you some other ideas as well. So I'll use that, and then I'm just going to drop something in here. But when you're done, you just hit publish, and this is going to add it to that post, and then I can come down here and add this to my queue. So you can set up different kind of different settings as far as like what you want to post on certain days. So like if on Monday, Wednesday, Friday you wanted to post a meme, or you wanted to post text or something, you can actually have it set up so that you just drop it in the queue and it's going to put it where you want. I like to manually kind of move everything around, and you can do that by, let me actually exit this really quickly and I'll come back over here. You can actually do that by just grabbing stuff here and moving it around that way, or you can drop it all the way to the bottom, or move it all the way to the top. Oh no, this just makes these just sort of move up or down one space, and then this is all the way. So anyway, you can kind of play with that, but this is a side hustle that I've been doing for years. I only do this for one client. I don't do this for more people, and that was just my own personal choice. But I mean, it's been a steady gig for a long time, and my client is happy with it. And once a year, we have a quick meetup, and I just say, you want me to keep doing this? You want me to keep going? And he's been happy with it every year, so we keep going. We keep doing this, and it does work. It definitely makes a difference. In fact, I did notice recently, or in the last 6 months or so, my client started posting, he like was over posting on the business stuff, and all of his engagement started to kind of drop down. And we had a discussion about that, and you know, making some changes so that we can fix things. But it's just a really simple side hustle. You can go search for businesses on their specific social media pages. You're going to be able to see what they're doing. You know, if a business is trying to post content, but they're just not getting any engagement, then this might be something that you could help them with. And you don't have to charge a lot for this. You could charge, you know, on average $50 a week, $100 a week, whatever makes sense for you and for them. I mean, I would be kind of flexible if a business was willing to maybe try something, give them a really good discount to get started, and maybe it can grow into something a little bit bigger. But again, just this is a side hustle that I've been doing. I wanted to share this because there's definitely a lot of businesses out there that I know are trying to get better organic reach with their social media. And if they were just willing to post more of the right type of content to help with that, they might actually accomplish that, and you might be the perfect person to step in and help them get there. So if you like this video, I actually do, in the description, like I said, I have the link to Postplanner, so you can go check that out. And then I've also put together a whole bunch of content that I've used actually multiple times. I've used it kind of off and on over the years, but I've created basically a big bucket of a bunch of my content that I share. So it would just save you a ton of time that you don't have to go out and search for a bunch of things. I would still recommend start kind of building your own saved content that you're collecting for future use. But this stuff would give you a big head start and just make it a lot faster and easier. So I hope this was helpful. If you like this video or this type of content, be sure to subscribe to the channel and like the video and leave me a comment. I love hearing from people. So I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you later.